Welcome back. When you think picnic, why not think beyond burgers and hot dogs? In today's cooking segment with Rania, we are cooking Greek.
We are.
A Greek picnic. So what are we making?
A Greek does the Greek picnic. We are doing, instead of lamb kebabs, filet mignon kebabs. And I want to talk about the filet mignon.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Because people might think, ooh, that's so expensive. And yes, it is. But this is not what you call the center cut. Okay. Of the filet. Do you know what that means, the tenderloin?
No.
Beef tenderloin's about this long.
Okay. All right.
Gotcha?
Yeah.
And it's got a really like a bulbous, it's called the head. It's a much bigger end, and then it gets pretty even, and then it tapers down into this called the tail. So there's the head, there's the tail, and then there's the middle.
Right.
All right?
Okay.
You ever see one of those in the supermarket?
I mean, I've bought a tenderloin that was like this big, so I guess not the whole thing.
Well, no, you did, because
Okay.
if it was about that big, it's the whole thing. But there's a bigger end and then it just narrows into a tail.
Okay.
The center cut, the center of that is what you go to a restaurant and you get filet mignon.
It's a center cut.
It's a center cut.
Yeah.
So what do you do with the heads and the tails?
I don't know.
Well, a lot of times they just go into the ground beef pile, or you can rescue them from the butcher and say, you know what, when you're butchering your meat, because a lot of people do today, I mean, they cut it and they package it at the supermarkets or at a nice butcher shop. I want you to chunk up for me, for shish kebab, the heads and the tails.
Of the filet.
Of the tenderloin.
Of the tenderloin. Okay.
Right.
And they'll know what you're saying.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
I want the heads and the tails, and I want it cut into cubes. I don't want the center cut. It's less expensive.
Oh,
because
good.
ultimately, who knows, they might just be grinding it into the ground beef pile. You don't know what they're going to do with it.
Right, okay.
But it's great for shish kebab.
I love your little tip.
Well,
that's good to know.
It's good to know because it's a lot less expensive.
And you're still going to get a good cut of meat.
You're getting the best cut of meat.
Right.
And it's a very lean, it doesn't have a lot of fat, and it cooks like that.
Oh, good.
All right? So now, we need to marinate it. Why? Because it really doesn't have any fat, right?
Right, so there's no...
So to speak of. So there's not that much flavor going on. This puppy needs a little help. So what I have here, I've got my little cheat sheet. I've got garlic powder. I've got nutmeg. I've got cardamom. I've got allspice, and I have paprika.
Oh,
all right.
Nice little mix there.
A nice little mix.
And these are a Greek seasoning mix together?
This is just a nice warm seasoning mix for this marinade that we're about to make.
I think, is it the cardamom? Whenever you use it, I can smell something
yeah,
warm.
Is
that what that is?
Warm, they are called the warm spices. They're not herbs. These are definitely spices.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's very important to mix this up, okay? And then, again, because we really need to help this with flavor, I'm going to add a nice amount of pepper to this. And probably even a nicer amount of salt. All right?
That's okay. That works for me.
You need it.
Yeah.
You need it. So what you want to do here is you want to once again mix this up.
So it spreads evenly on it.
Right.
If you want, I can get my hands in there too.
Well, this would be a good time for you to do that, darling.
Okay. All right.
She's massaging the meat, folks. Look at that.
Yeah, that looks good.
Now, you got it all coated? You're not done.
I'm not done yet.
Some onions. Go ahead and mix those up. And don't worry if you break up the onions.
Okay. You put this all in there like that.
Uh-huh. Now there's more.
Okay.
There's some lemon juice. And there's red wine.
Did you just smell it? Mm-hmm. That gives you enough of your fix?
I just love the smell of red wine. And yet I don't like to drink it. Go ahead, keep going. There's more.
Okay.
Olive oil. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add in the olive oil.
Okay.
Now you mix, 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 mix. And now it's my turn to get the gloves on, too, because we're going to skewer this.
So does this have to sit for any length of time if you were making this at home?
Yes, let's fast forward.
Okay.
I would leave this in the refrigerator. You cover it, actually you could do it overnight or for just a few hours. But the most important thing is if you're grilling it, do you want to take those off and start with a new pair?
No, okay, sure.
Yeah, I think so. Because I'd like you to skewer one.
Okay.
as we're going to go to a break in a minute. We can be skewering, and then we can talk about how we grilled it up.
Okay.
Go ahead and do that.
What does the red wine do here for the meat?
Flavor.
Okay, just flavor. I wasn't
Right.
sure if it like broke anything down or anything.
There's nothing to break down on this.
Nothing.
It's not like using chuck, okay? So this is, this is put that right there because this is where we'll lay them down.
Okay.
Let's put this here. So I'll show you one, and then here, you take a skewer. These were soaked in a little bit of water. So you take the meat, and it's important that the meat all be the even size cut.
Okay.
And then you want to take a piece of red pepper, and then you take a piece of the meat.
Onion, pepper.
And then I'll do an onion, exactly. And try to, when you do the onion, do the best you can. Onion is not the easiest thing to skewer. But
I love onions on the grill like that.
I do too.
Oh, I love it.
And now I'll do another piece of meat.
Great. Okay, so we're gonna skewer these up.
You're gonna skewer, and I'm going to start throwing them on the grill, right?
All right, and stay with us. We'll be right back with this and more.
And